Hi, I'm Mike Bailey and I will be going over the flag football tournament rules. Each game will consist of 15 minutes with the running clock. That means it doesn't stop. And then there's 2-minute half times. Each team can only have 7 players. The minimum is 5. If your team is eliminated from the tournament, you cannot be added to an existing team. Touchdowns have a point value of 6. The referee will give you the option to go for 1, 2, or 3. 1 would be from the 10-yard line, 2 from the 20, and 3 from the 30-yard line. You'll get 1 attempt for your point after. The shirt must be tucked in. If you can, have a similar color as everyone on the team, so everyone on the team has the same shirt color. Flags must be worn on the hips. No metal baseball spikes are allowed. The referees will give a 10-second clock runoff if they feel that you're going too long. So like a play clock, there is no play clock, but if you're taking too long, they will give you a 10-second countdown. There are no fumbles. As soon as the ball hits the ground, it's dead. So if you get a snap and it hits the ground, the ball is dead. If you are running with the ball and someone hits it out of your hand, it's not a fumble, the ball is dead. There's 1 kickoff per half, and if you're on 4th down and you want to punt, then there is no rush for the punt. And when the ball hits the ground, it's dead, so the punt needs to be caught in the air. So wherever the ball hits the ground is where the ball is dead. At the end of the play, the referee will spot the ball, and then they will do a 2-step defensive line of scrimmage. That means the defense must line up behind the defensive line of scrimmage line. They can rush every down, but they have to line up. They're offsides if they do not line up behind the defensive line of scrimmage. On an offensive series, there has to be at least 3 men on the offensive side of the ball on the line of scrimmage. So you have to have at least 3 men on the offensive line of scrimmage. To receive a first down, you must get past the 50-yard marker, midfield. You can only get 1 first down per series, and if you start with the ball past the midfield line, you can't get a first down. If the game ends in a tie, there will be a coin flip, and it will be sudden death, so the team that receives the ball will be like a new half. Whoever scores first wins the overtime. Alright, now to go over the rules. Rule number 1 is the referee has the final say. If the referee calls something and you argue, the referee can throw you out. If you get thrown out of a game, you get thrown out of the tournament. You can get thrown out for fighting. If you throw a fist, you're automatically gone. If you swear and you continue to swear even after you're warned, the referee will give you a warning for swearing, but if you continue to swear and you're ejected for the rest of the tournament. If 2 of your teammates, if 2 people on a team are kicked out of a game, your team is ejected from the tournament and will be disqualified and will not be able to continue to play. On an offensive play, the wide receiver, Jack, come here. Jack is the offensive player, the wide receiver. Sam cannot initiate contact with him. Alright? As a wide receiver, he cannot make any contact. That's pass interference. If Jack is an offensive lineman, he has to keep his hands behind his back and cannot initiate contact. The defensive lineman cannot initiate contact. On offense, you cannot flag guard. You cannot stiff arm. You cannot spin. The only time you can dive is if you're diving for a first down. So first down or goal line situations, you can dive. You cannot dive just for extra yardage. On defense, a defender cannot rush the quarterback trying to hit his arm. A player cannot pull the clothing of the offensive player to slow them down. On defense, you may not tackle the offensive player, and if a tackle is hard enough and the ref feels that it was too aggressive, there will be an excessive penalty given and maybe even ejection. The most important rule is that the referee makes the final call. We're not playing for a Super Bowl, this is just for fun, so we want everyone to have a good attitude. In the past, we've had problems with fighting, with arguing with the referees. To make this a fun tournament, we make sure that we are not going to tolerate those types of things. We're glad that you're here to participate, but we want to make sure that everything runs orderly and that there is no anger or fighting going on at any part of the tournament. If you have any other questions, you can talk to me or ask the referee before the game. Make sure your shirt is tucked in, make sure that your belt has your flags on the sides, and at the beginning of each game you will elect a captain to go to midfield for a coin toss to determine who will get possession first. The clock will run and you will have a halftime and then a final end of the game. When your game is over, please take your belt off, put it back in the bin you got it from. Please do not leave it on the field or leave it anywhere on the ground. Put it back in the bin you found it in. We want to make sure that we have all our flags, and then you send one delegate to me or to a referee to find out what the next game for your team is if you haven't been eliminated.